Oh, I dropped. What's going on? Sorry. Something dropped off.
I can see Miranda's pretty red shirt.
Yeah, I'm running. Very young. I think we're live now, guys.
Are
Go
we?
ahead.
Well, look at
I
that.
think so.
Okay.
Yay.
What?
Hey, here we are.
Honey, we're just sitting here
We
looking
still
live.
yet to.
Deer in
What?
headlights.
I think I was the only one being seen in the top right. That's hilarious.
No, it's awesome. And I'm taking a look now at the live and watching us make fools of myself. Welcome to Voices of the Soul, everyone. Season 1, episode number 8, with the lovely Linda Doherty and the most beautiful Miranda Malasani, and the secret one over there, Paula Bailey, who doesn't show herself because she doesn't want to right now. Welcome to
Hello.
the show. We're going to talk Scorpio nonstop. We're going to make fun of Scorpios nonstop. We know some Scorpios. What? It's good. Aren't you having
I feel like Scorpios are both.
you're having your 25th birthday soon, are you not?
25th. It's more like 22, Jim.
Oh,
You're supposed
sorry.
to go, backwards every.
Not
No, I'm not having that. Not until until December, actually.
Is that what
So
we're waiting for?
yeah, I'm a Scorpio moon. That's the Scorpio part of me. Did you know?
That just makes us look at everything. Oh, now you see, you don't want to screw with Miranda. Did you just see those eyes? That was, don't fuck with me right now. I'm busy. I'm live.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
all of the above.
If you were my mama, I'd be like, yes, mom. Yep. Yes. Yes, mom.
Tonight, you better be.
I think so.
Well, I was gonna say actually, funny enough, Mars moved into Leo, and you don't want to mess with any of the fixed signs. So that's Scorpio, Aquarius, Taurus, and what's the last one? What's the last fixed sign? Why can't I think about it, Jim? You know,
I'm
Taurus,
trying right now.
Scorpio, Aquarius, and Leo.
Yeah.
Leo. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
So if you have, major placements in the fixed signs, Mars just went into Leo, and it gives you a nice little oomph because Mars has been in Cancer, but it's going to go retrograde and then it's going to dip back into Cancer, which means there's a whole lot of themes that we're going through when it comes to the action part of our Mars's action, right? It can also mean war. So that's why you don't want to mess with the fixed signs right now.
how have you been doing this last week, by the way, Miranda? There's a lot going on with you, business wise, work wise. You're supposed to get, like, when I looked at your chart yesterday, just because I was doing that, you're supposed to be like nonstop committed to a whole bunch of stuff coming up in 2025 that you're going to have to keep up with. So that's going to be crazy. And Linda doesn't stop ever.
No.
So
Never.
ever stops. I don't think she ever does.
Yep.
You know, it's
Problematic, but it's good problems.
Good problems. Yeah. Yeah.
So we were all, and we do, don't we? We all get along, seemingly, and we're thinking about, for the season. We're going to start talking a little bit more about Scorpios for this. We're going to start, and we're going to get better as we do this. So we're going to talk about Scorpio every Tuesday until we come into the Sagittarius season, and I'm just going to throw a plug in. You guys get 30 minutes for a 20-minute price in readings for Scorpios. And the Libras got in with 59 of them. So that was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
So let's just see if the Scorpio can do some. But I wanted to talk about the Scorpios for a little bit, if you don't mind. I just want to throw some stuff out there because Scorpios born between October 23rd and November 21st are known for how intense they are, how passionate they are. Their depth of emotion is I think it's their depth of emotion is different than any other of the 11 birth signs because They can translate in both positive and negative habits within seconds. They can switch it up and go around and get to do all that they want to do, and they just don't give a shit. But I like that, so it's important to have that. But we have the typical habits of the good and the bad for Scorpios, right? They're very loyal. The determination is ridiculous. They're courageous, which I think is important. And if you're a courageous in your Scorpio sign, that means that you're driven and you make things happen. You're intuitive as well, but more intuitive, not so much into your family, but into your business, those type of things. So if they were HR, they'd be able to pull you out and fire you in about a second or so. So those are kind of cool. They're passionate, like I said, resourceful and honest. I'm going to get into the bad habits shortly, but their honesty, they value truth. They value everything that comes to them, and honesty can create a deep bond with their friends and their relationships. So, and that happens to everyone, but Scorpio really takes it a different way. I just wanted to say for the month for Scorpios, the major changes that are going to happen to them are holding off for something better. And that will be the best thing that Scorpios can do for the balance of 2024. Because 2025, November 19th, a whole bunch of stuff is going to happen. And it's just going to be clear sailing for a majority of the Scorpios in 2025. And that is my spewel, but I'll get on the bad habits of Scorpios after. Have you got anything?
Can I just add there, Jim?
Yeah.
What's interesting about Scorpio placements is they're kind of like human lie detectors because of their intuition and because there's like this depth of emotional understanding, right? Because it's a water sign. So you really can't get anything by a Scorpio, nor would you want to, because trust, when you have someone who's in your life who's a Scorpio and they trust you and their loyalty runs deep, they're beautiful friends and they're beautiful partners when there's that trust.
Mhm.
But if you mess with Scorpio,
It's done.
they'll make sure that you know it's done. And it's like, it's kind of like you can turn it on and off. And it becomes very, it's like pushing too far and now it's gone and it's gone forever because of that betrayal.
Okay.
I just want to say my brother is a Scorpio. It was his birthday this week, and I just got sent a picture of him having a nap in Las Vegas. He's had a big day.
Oh, wow.
So he's
That's
having a little nap before his evening festivities.
awesome. So I find when I get along with Scorpios, that is one sign that I can really, as a Libra, we can sit there, we can talk, we're not menacing to one another. We're not trying to out talk each other. We're usually trying to find solutions together because I'm sort of like, the scale. I like things to happen and make them better, and to have other people work with me while I'm doing something and they have my back. I find that Scorpios are very good that way, but don't screw with them though.
Oh,
Don't screw with them.
loyal.
Yeah. And I would say like there's that lower and higher version of all of us, right? And when you see the lower and higher version of Scorpio, because there's that intensity, it can be very big, right? Because there's that separation, because there's that depth. So you might not notice the difference between a lower or higher version of somebody if they don't have the same depth of emotion, like the emotion side of it. But in Scorpio placements, it's quite incredible to see that. Also, just as a side note, I'm going to be reading some of the comments because we're getting a lot of beautiful comments so far, and good evening. So thank you all for commenting and keep it going.
Hi, everybody. Hi, everyone.
So, and many are looking forward to hearing more about Scorpios and what's ahead. I think that also, we know, like you said, Jim, November 19th really marks the end of era, and 2025, I think there's gonna be a lot of relief, like you said, for Scorpios, for many reasons, even
so many.
business-wise, right? Yeah.
When we do the random talking about Scorpios too, because they're not trying to be secretive anymore. I find that the way that things are working for them, everything is going to come out. Everything is going to be really, really good. People are going to start loving. Scorpios will start loving more people and being less suspicious because they're going to call themselves out in 2025. A lot of people this year are going to call themselves out. So it's going to be crazy. I have a dog, by the way. If you hear some banging and stuff, he's chewing his bone under my desk, and I've got a friend here tonight. So if you don't hear it, it's okay.
I had to get my friend out of the room.
Yeah, you did, didn't
She
you?
was in here earlier. That's true.
Yes. What else is happening?
Any good questions, Miranda? They're all good questions.
Right. So let's go up here. So Marianne says, my dad has had a bladder tumor removed he's having a second surgery end of the month, I feel. There is more to it than that. What do you see?
I'm not picking up anything other than what they're getting and what they've got. He should be in a good road to recovery.
Does it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you see any spreading, Jim?
Yeah, but just over here.
Yeah.
Around here on my left side. So that's all I see. But I think everything is going to be taken away.
Pretty weak. He feels very weak. He hasn't yeah, his life force is less, but it's not something he can't recover from, but his life force is definitely less. This is hard on him, like more than he expected or anyone did.
Mm-hmm.
It's sucky.
It is
Hang in
insane.
there, Marianne.
Yes, Marianne.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's gone through a lot.
Yeah. Let's see.
Oh.
Sarah says, I'm a Scorpio. It's so very true, very loyal, fiercely, and feel intensely. Absolutely. I think that's the hardest part for me as a Scorpio moon is that I feel everything intensely, which it can be really good because that can be good, but it can also be not good because I can have big emotions that are hard to deal with sometimes. So that the Scorpio placements in us can make us really empathetic or can make us bitter if we're not aware of how to manage those emotions, right?
Yeah.
I do want to say that this Scorpio season is really interesting. Jim, I'm sure I don't know if you're going to say this and you can go ahead if you're going to say it first, but there are some transits that are happening, especially that full moon mid-month in Taurus. And it is influenced by Uranus, right? So it brings unexpected changes and advises adaptability. So there's a lot of transformational energy in general during Scorpio season because we have to deal with our shadow parts and its depth and, death and rebirth, that kind of thing, those themes. But we have that new moon in Scorpio November 1st. We
Yes.
had the Mars opposition, which is just actually, I think, ending tomorrow, actually. And so that was like
You're gonna
power
make me
struggle.
up. I think it does end tomorrow.
Yeah, power struggles like crazy. Venus has been in Sagittarius, so that kind of adds a little bit more of like a fun, passion, like lighter part in relationships, in financial areas. But then with Pluto transiting into Aquarius, like there's some massive changes. And then we have Mercury going retrograde November 25th, and November 7th is the shadow where it starts. So lots of different changes within the Scorpio season that actually bring another level of depth. So if you're not already feeling the intensity of it, then you're going to feel it even more.
And I think that this retrograde that's coming on the 25th is just going to, it's going to get rid of a lot of stuff that is not being good to us. It's not going to be as bad as we think it is. So, because the way that it's trying to operate is to tell us what we've done wrong, look at what we're doing, and slow it down a little bit. Start making an inventory of the things that we do, and then work on the small things first, and then the bigger things will be easier to get. It might sound cliche, but that's what we have to do through the retrograde. It's gonna be something really, really interesting. And I'm at Fanshawe College on the 28th. So it's going to be a little bit crazy down there. I'm speaking to a whole bunch of crazy kids.
Oh, cool. Very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, so that's going to be fun. What was I going to go after here? I wanted to ask something completely off topic, but I would love to hear from our audience and our people. Has anyone been seeing a lot of shadow people lately?
You guys continue. I just have to go and address something for 2 minutes with my children. I will be right back.
We'll be waiting for you.
It's funny that you say that because, like, I've had even two clients today, they had issues in their house with shadow people, and removing them. And sometimes they come back, which isn't very often, but today I had that. Yep.
I had a mimic, which you helped me with there last week, which I wasn't too thrilled about. And they're just a nuisance. But most of the black shadows that I'm seeing are not being mean or outside of their realm for me. I'm not being accusatory that all shadow people or shadow energy that we see is bad, but they're stronger than they have been in the past. And I think
True.
this is going to be very interesting for the balance of the year, because I think our world, our universe is cleaning house now. And our 16 years for being cardinal and air signs are just going to be amazing. Looks like
It better be.
looks like your knuckles are just like bleeding a little bit. Did you punch someone there?
I love it because Alina here says, I saw the mom means business look. Yeah, you know what? I have my kids and this is real life. And you know, you have to go and so thank
Handle
you for
it.
your
We love this.
and handle
That's why I love this. It's
it is what it is.
Yeah.
But sorry, it better be good news cycle for cardinal signs because nobody wants to hear after 16 years when Pluto brings in, you build something up and it breaks it down, and then you build it up again and it breaks it down, and the exhaustion of having to go through that transformational building and then the breaking down is so exhausting. So there will be some relief for those who have fixed placements in it's going to Aquarius, so you have to know where your chart is. But I do think that there's some good things to come. And I'm sorry that I didn't hear the rest of the conversation, so I don't know what else you were talking about.
We were
Talking
just
about
talking more
shadows.
about shadow people.
Shadow people.
Okay.
Yeah.
There is a comment here that I think is funny because I hear this all the time. How many Mercury retrogrades are there in a year? It feels like we're always in retrograde. Yeah. There are 3 Mercury retrogrades every year.
Yep.
But there are other retrogrades happening. The planets are always going forward or backwards. So for example, when Mars goes retrograde, like that part of your chart is going to be up for a review. And like even when Saturn's retrograde, it's actually going direct, thankfully. That's another thing, mid-November.
Yep.
That will really change the energy. And then in 2025 and 2026, I'm hearing astrologers, a lot of them say it's such massive changes in the next 2 years. The impact of our decisions for the future in the next 2 years are massive.
Yes.
Because there's so many big planetary shifts and you will feel them. So if you've been down in the dumps, you've been going through hard times, just know that they're, hold on a bit longer and there'll be some different feelings. I know we even said the same thing too, collectively, right?
Yeah.
If anybody wants to come on tonight and talk, you can be a part of our little show tonight. Just reach out to what is it, Paula?
Hayvots@gmail.com.
Yeah, hayvots@gmail.com. I'll put it in the chat too for everybody.
Thank you.
So we do have a couple of questions here too, if you want.
Sure. Fire.
So Carmel says, they found something in my sister Carmine's uterus, born November 29th, 1960. She has a lot of health problems. Do you guys see anything at all with anything? Thank you very much.
I can see that's like a hard question to answer because you don't want to freak anybody out too. But I do see, I'm glad she's getting it checked out. That's all. It doesn't mean it's like serious, but it's good to, if they've found something, then it's good that they're checking it out. Because I do feel like they found something.
They did. And yeah, can't go into it. That one's Carmela would love to, but maybe on a private thing, because we're not doctors. So, we only see what we see. And we don't like to be responsible for those kind of things. But
we're the worried that it can just a suggestion because words have power.
Yeah. Too much power.
Yes,
they do.
They do. Another question here. Is it common to see shadow people outside of your home?
Oh, yes. Oh, my God.
See, I don't.
I can go into the subway in Toronto. I can go into a grocery store. I can go anywhere. And not just do I see the regular spirit world, but the shadow people behind the dead people.
Wow. I'm glad I don't see that. I don't want that.
It is very, very uncomfortable at times when you're seeing someone struggling. And, you know, we all talk to ourselves at times and we talk aloud sometimes. And people, that's how they get through their lives. And sometimes when it's louder than normal and they're walking down an aisle or walking around you, it's not to avoid them, but they're in a space where a lot of dark energy is taking hold of them in a way. I've seen it way too many times, you know? And as you walk by them, you just say to the little fuckers, if you do not get off of that person right now, I will make sure that you will never be on anybody again. Get the hell out of the way. And you turn around and they walk away because you just show, again, no fear, right, Linda?
No fear,
As you know,
no fear.
no fear. And you keep on them. And it's crazy to do that, but it's insane.
I see them here. So when I see them, like I could pick anybody, and if they have something on it, I can take it off by seeing it here, but I choose not to see it out there.
It would be exhausting though. I get it.
Yeah, well, for you too, like you see it everywhere. I don't like that.
I can't shut
Yeah.
seeing the dead people. So the shadow people come with it. I can't say, oh, don't show up, because then they'll just all do that at the same time. They're
Yeah.
They, you know, and I've seen children who say they see a lot of shadow people, especially in 2024.
Yep.
These are 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds, and it's very interesting because you can hear them talking to one another, and they're just bringing out what they're picking up, and I don't know why they go to children. They shouldn't, but they do.
But it seems like it's people who dismiss like as something in the closet. You can't understand how many people I work with when they said, oh, my child is afraid of the dark and they won't sleep in their room. And I go, I know why. And you can see it. Like I can see it. And then you pick it out and then you get it out of there.
I know, it's insane. We got our friends here. Tina. I'm going to read this one.
Okay.
Okay.
Shadow people, but a lot of the times I think I see or feel someone around me, but when I look up, there's no one there. That's for everyone, Tina.
That's your spidey senses kicking in.
Yeah. And it's just because there's a message to come through. There's something else going on that you need to be aware of. It's basically, they're trying to give you a message, because when you have that feeling, they are overwhelmed for some reason, and it has to be a family thing. It could be a son, a daughter, a grandparent, a husband. You know, sometimes there's something else other than what we know.
True story. Can I read a question from Trisha?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I have a person I know, her name is Trisha, and she had H. pylori, and she had overall body health of tiredness and dizziness. And do you get anything off that, Miranda or Jim?
Yeah, she definitely
She works like crazy, this lady. She never takes much time for herself. And I think a lot of it has to do with exhaustion too.
She definitely has digestive inflammation.
What time?
And it feels like, sorry, Jim.
Nope. I just needed to know what time of the day she starts. That's all.
Oh,
And you continue.
Today she was started at 7.
Okay.
She finished at 3, but she has a few jobs, not just one job. There's lots.
okay. So it seems like to me, she has digestive inflammation, which means that she's not absorbing much at all, which she's then at a total nutrient starvation almost mode. And then it also shows up that she's like, it's hard for her to feel and process emotions. So maybe she's in a state of survival, like kind of fight or flight constantly, chronically. That you know, we kind of need to like address the gut state first, and then not be able to settle down that gut state so that the vagus nerve, the vagal kind of nerve is reset.
Right.
Because fight or flight gets you in a consistent space of not absorbing your nutrients. And when then you're not absorbing your nutrients, then now you're deficient. And you're deficient, you do have low energy, and then just perpetual. Now, does she also have some, like she might have something that she needs to address in her gut, like even her lining feels like it's broken down?
it feels like an ulcer. I get ulcer.
Yeah. Right. And that makes sense if she had like a bacteria or something like that that was unaddressed, or if it was addressed and she didn't rebuild the bacteria or the sorry, the lining, the gut lining.
Yeah.
It shows to me that she has a detox and she has to replenish. She really should take digestive enzymes, but the first step is probably like
Okay.
how to get out of fight or
I don't know how that would happen for her to get out of fight or flight. Life doesn't.
so it can be as simple as honestly like breathing techniques just to bring down so that her body can start to absorb. But digestively, it would be things like you know what's interesting? Broccoli sprouts. If she has H. pylori or any type of bacteria like that, broccoli sprouts are so good for it, like as a food-based item. She could just start adding that in there so she'll get more nutrient density. It'll help any type of growth. If it's an ulcer, if it's from H. pylori, that would help. And then things like slippery elm, the digestive enzymes have an ability to help break down the nutrients that she's having. And then she can get kind of like a product that supports the digestive tract, like slippery elm, aloe, L-glutamine, those things. And I can send her some information if she needs to afterwards, just product recommendations. But to me, it's like help the gut lining. Maybe it's like just doing like breath work for 5 minutes a day, if that was it, just so she can lower her stress or cortisol, and then dealing with a gut issue.
Do you think ashwagandha would help her?
I think ashwagandha could for sure help her with the stress. Like in that, it just takes a couple weeks for it to build up, as long as her blood pressure came up. So I don't know if it's high or low. If she has low blood pressure, ashwagandha may not be the best thing for her. If it's higher, then it's higher.
I don't know. I'm assuming it would probably be on the lower side.
Right. So maybe she needs something like a rhodiola or something else instead of ashwagandha. But I do think that by her absorbing more nutrients through her digestive stuff, she'll be able to be less stressed too. She's stressed because she's deficient.
Okay.
This is all right.
I just picked up some kind of a blockage. Really, like her smaller intestine. I don't know what it's gross. I'm picking that up like that's got to be fixed.
Okay.
I would say that right now she has a hard time digesting fats. Then that's a sign that those enzymes would be helpful too. Magnesium at nighttime. And zinc came up twice. It popped out twice. So those things for helping her immune system might be beneficial as well.
Okay. Hope this helps, Trisha.
Yeah.
Thanks, Miranda.
But I send her my contact and I can just send her some of those ideas too.
Okay. Thank you.
A couple more questions here if you want me
Sure.
to read those as well.
Yes.
So Sandra says, hi everyone, my father is stage 4 kidney failure. Do you see it progressing to stage 5? I'm sorry to hear that, Sandra.
Yeah, it's not good.
We're getting a lot of questions that we're really not in a place to answer, guys, because that's like, we can base it off our energy of what we see. But again, there could be so many different factors to that. And we're not trying to be mean. We want only the best. I can light a candle and send positive energy and a healing energy as much as I can. But that is my resource. That's the best that I can do.
Yeah, I feel like that your father's in good care. Like I feel like he's getting the best care. But that's like it's up to him and God kind of right now. Just pray. The power of prayer is real. And we can send lots of good prayers and energy, healing energy from our end too.
Yeah, I agree with that. And another one here is JY says, so I'm going to smudge my house when I get home in 8 days. And I was wondering what works best, sage or Palo Santo? Is that how I say it, right?
Palo Santo, yeah.
Yeah, Palo Santo.
So
window open or closed? I understand salt water absorbs negative energy. I would say that they both could be effective. Right? It just depends on kind of your desire.
There is a preference for some. If we're using sage and white sage, it'll smell like turkey season in your house for sure. With or without the windows open. The spirits will leave, but the wives' tales is to open up the windows to release everything so that they don't mirror themselves and bounce back into the home. So I know that for a fact that you should open a window for them to escape, or Palo Santo will be a little bit fresher. I find that it is a thicker smoke, believe it or not, than
It's
burning.
denser. It's dense.
Thank you. Yeah. And it's like I've got this here, and I've been using this forever, right? And it's so quick, but it's just there, you see, and that works.
Yeah.
And you just
It
walk
does.
around, and just do the sign of infinity, do your mantras, do what you need to do. Mirrors, always do it twice, and things will get a lot better for you. I promise. Or
Do you guys use sweetgrass too?
Pardon?
Like sage is like to me, like sage is like the bacterial or the cleanser, whereas sweetgrass is like the bringing in of good energy, right? Like that's kind of like
it gives the
do you
balance.
I
does.
I use a spray where I make my own with distilled water, and I use cedar wood for grounding. I use sage, and I like the smell of clary sage, so I put a little clary sage in. I do a drop of holy water, and I use it like I go through a bottle every 2 days because I clear so much, but I use that.
As soon as you mentioned the spray, your whole camera went bright. It was kind
Oh
of
yeah?
yeah. Going on.
Yeah, some more questions coming in. So Carmel says, why is it lately we hear so many people that have H. pylori? I've never heard that before. All of a sudden, H. pylori can actually be very common and can be passed in amongst people. And it's easy to pick up, and it does cause ulcers, but it's also, if you address it, you can get rid of it.
That
But
bacterial? Bacterial?
yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah. So yeah, it's like actually pretty easy to, I actually pulled up my list of just in case you need to know, and maybe you're hearing it more because you need to know it. So in terms of to address H. pylori, you're looking at things like the broccoli sprouts, probiotics, honey. I cannot speak about enough, right? That especially Manuka specifically deals with H. pylori. Green tea, garlic, cranberry juice, but the real like tart cranberry juice, ginger, DGL, which is like a licorice, not like your Twizzlers, real licorice, omega-3 fatty acids, turmeric, and aloe vera. So those would be great things to add in, especially if you're trying to even just heal the gut too. Be very helpful.
Can I ask you what cherry does? Cherry juice, the tart cherry juice when you buy it?
Yeah, tart cherry is actually a pain reliever. It helps. A lot of athletes use it as a remedy instead of like anti-inflammatories. It's a very good pain reliever.
Interesting.
Cherry juice. The tart cherry, like you don't want to have it with sugar, the real stuff.
Yeah. Oh no, we have some in the fridge, and I shake every time I have a little glass of it because I'm told.
Ew. Like, because you don't like the way it makes your body feel?
Yeah. But
Don't consume it.
No? Okay.
No, your body always tells you. I mean, we all have to get to a state where we can actually receive the information and be rid of the inflammatory triggers to get the clear information. But if your body gets tired or like achy or lethargic or digestive stuff, like it is not right for you. Put it to the side. Doesn't matter how good it is on paper, it's not good for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Exactly. I do.
A few more questions here. Michael says, is there a difference between energy and frequency? How can I become more in tune with them?
It's an interesting question.
Yeah.
Okay, so I use both, right?
Me
I've
too.
always used both. I think Linda does. Miranda, you get an energy just from reading a card. You can get a vibration that belongs to you as well, and it's literally for you. So that energy is important, and we feed off of that energy. But it's the vibration of ourselves. My content in this, I gain a higher vibration as I get through a reading or a session with someone. I tend to start here and I finish here on vibration because I'm getting more and more information, and they are giving me more information because they trust me. Their guides give me that higher vibration so that I know I'm getting better answers and more precise answers. So I go by vibration before I go over energy.
Yeah, it's funny. It's energy, yeah, like you feel energy. Vibration is a way of being. I think like vibration is like joy. Joy is the highest vibration. Love. That's the best vibration you can be in. So if you can try and be in that energy, you're going to attract things that are like things. When you vibrate lower, you attract lower situations, energy, and people, right? But energies are different because you can feel like when you're matching energies with people, you can feel like if they're shitty people sometimes, or like not shitty people, that's not nice, but you can feel lower vibrational people through their energy. So it correlates, right?
And
And I can say, sorry, Jim.
no, go please.
I was gonna say, you could say the same thing for food. So when we are stuck in a cycle of consuming the same foods, it's because our body is kind of like aligned with that vibrational energy of that food. So for example, if we're eating just processed food for a long time, then we keep on perpetuating like attracts like. So if you start eating higher vibrational foods, like the greens and the real foods that grow in a garden, like anything with that pure, unprocessed, it's just right the way it's supposed to be, you
So-
then start wanting more of it, right? You can't help it. It's just what it is. It just takes a bit of time to adjust to that vibration.
So what about funnel cake?
I love funnel cake.
So do I.
I mean, like if you're having fun and eating funnel cake, then your vibrational energy can stay high. You just gotta like
That's
have
true.
some time.
I'm
Like
telling
you just gotta
Canada's
be.
Wonderland funnel cake. Oh my God.
Best. It's the
The best.
best.
Sorry. Also, there's nothing better in joy and of higher vibration than a good martini, you know?
I mean, I would say like some homemade wine is probably the best way
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
to.
I love a good homemade
But
one.
Has
Yep.
when it's made with love, it's
See,
the
my
best.
vibration's up
It's,
here right now. I'm feeling great.
That's good. You're taking in all the energy, the good
I'll take it
vibes
all.
coming in.
that was a great question that Michael asked. That was great.
That was a great question.
Stacy, who saw you today, Linda,
Yes, I love
said,
sleeping.
I saw Linda today and we chatted briefly about sleep. I feel I tried everything, including prescriptions, which I don't like. Linda mentioned to ask Miranda. So I can definitely pull some cards for
I
Stacy.
forgot to send you the sleep meditation, but I will when the show is over.
And then maybe while I'm doing that, Sarah says, when you see a shadow versus being able to describe the visual of someone, does that mean it's a shadow person versus spirit? I hope that makes sense.
Can you reread that, or you're doing the cards? No, I'll reread it. How's that?
Okay.
When
Yeah.
you see a shadow versus being able to describe the visual of someone, does that mean it's a shadow person versus spirit? Yes, it does make sense. So for me, a shadow person, there are no eyes, there's no mouth, there is no, I can see hand movements, I can see gestures, but I get absolutely nothing there other than a vibration, knowing that they're good, bad, or indifferent.
I think all shadow, because they're dark energy, like the colors usually black or gray, there's something not good about them. Like
Yeah.
they're not good. Like when you see an apparition, they're usually white, transparent, the light gray. Those are good energies. The darker ones aren't.
I'm seeing small ones now, like little, they look like lobsters in a way, but not, yeah, that's the only way I can say it.
Like a crustacean?
Yes. It's like,
Sarah says, yes, gray.
Yeah, because I find like certain the darker shadow people, you don't know if they've ever been human, but I think they might have been because they have the human outline. But
They
that could
do.
be just like a mimic kind of thing. But then like a gray shadow person would probably be just a ghost that has had a harder life or have done some stuff on the earth that isn't good. That's what I get. When
They
I see
created
like the
trauma.
gray ones, it's like they have to repent longer or they're stuck, but they've done stuff on the earth that's bad.
It is. I just want to, I wish I had a bell to hit, but we're at the halfway point, just over by 10 minutes because
Yeah.
we love talking so much. So it's crazy already.
Yeah.
I know it goes by fast.
Love doing it.
So I can tell for Stacy, a couple things came through, and then we have another question from Sandy as well. So I think that I don't know if anxiety is at the root of this. So there's a couple things. You have to increase minerals. It seems like you're a bit deficient in minerals, and I don't know if you've been drinking wine or something to help yourself sleep. Or there's a link there where you fall asleep and you wake up when you have wine, but that did come through. It seems like there's also some digestive inflammation. So I don't know if it's a cycle that's happening where it's kind of like there's a lot more anxiety during the day and it's like not allowing you to fall asleep at nighttime, but I think it starts earlier in the day for you. It does seem also that there's, these two cards that come up together sometimes it's kind of like a very straight statement of it's hard to see, hard to feel. So if you're disconnected from your feelings or you're emotionally avoiding, then when you're trying to sleep at nighttime, everything's quiet and then it comes to the surface.
That's your
So, I think part of it is how much can you help yourself process throughout the day? Or how can you move the energy that you're feeling or the thoughts? We think about energy in motion is emotion. So how do you process that so that by the time you get to the evening, you're not just like sitting there going or laying there going like, I can't, you can't sleep. Or if you're waking up at nighttime, if it's throughout the night. But I do see that there's a need to increase minerals. There's some digestive inflammation. There's a bit of a perpetual cycle here. I don't know if you're eating enough throughout the day or you're stabilizing your blood sugar too, because I see that you have some cravings. So we should probably talk more because there's a whole lot that came out to deal with. But I think that it's about processing emotions throughout the day or being able to connect those emotions so that you can process them. So they're not just like, it just doesn't, it's like a clump of anxiety that comes through later on.
That's true.
So
That's very true.
Yeah. So we can talk more too.
Yeah.
Is it Stacy?
Yep.
Yeah.
Alina Lambert. What did she say?
Yeah.
I can't read that one.
She says, I haven't seen shadow people, but I think sometimes something really tiny zips by, whether at home or work.
Could be an or
And I watch them scurry. That's how much I see them, Linda, too.
Mhm.
They just like that. And you're going, is that my imagination? Am I tired? Am I, those kind of things. But I see
Real.
those things too.
It's real. I see like sometimes when somebody comes in with some black energy or dark energy, I'll see like a black like dot goes like that, and it's like part of the energy. It's trying to escape me.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like what is it? JY? Yeah. And that's like a joint. Yeah. Yeah. But it gives you a body stone, so maybe you just shut down a little bit, but I don't know. Sativa for me, and then that'll just I'm done after that.
Mhm.
Sandy says here, my niece lost her son in a tragic accident. Is there any signs knowing he's in heaven with my mom? I'm sorry, Sandy.
Oh, that's sad.
Very sorry, Sandy.
What was his name, your nephew?
I'm
You get a name? Miranda?
Not yet.
pulled into Sandy, your mom pulled him in. That's all I do know. And he wanted to come right back because he did not think that he had enough time to finish what he had to finish on Earth.
Pardon?
Mateo.
Mateo. Okay. And how old was Mateo? Oh, I know this person.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is young. He's young. He is I think he liked ketchup. I don't know why I get silly stuff with what they like to eat, but he liked his pasta too. Like he was young. He was running out, like I feel like he was running and something happened. Running after something. But he's the cutest kid and he's got the nicest smile ever, and he was really funny. Like he's a really funny kid, but he's around the house a lot. Like there's a lot of cards. Some people have given him sent cards. And there's lots of pictures of him around, and I know he moves the pictures around, but he's such a love child. I think there's siblings too, but he's such a love child. It's hard for them to do anything like to move, like the parents are having trouble moving forward because I think it's recent, but I feel like they just don't know how to move forward from this. And even like to hear little things, it's not enough. Like there's nothing, like I don't think the parents are ready for a sign from this child yet. But he's
No.
around a ton, like he's in his room. I feel like he has like a blue bedspread, or like there's navy in his room, and I feel like he's in there. He's got all like his clothes are still folded, like things have stopped in time in his room, like they're the same. Um, but he's like okay because he is with his grandma, like he is okay. But he is obviously he doesn't miss his parents because he's with them all the time. It's his parents. He's so sad because his parents are sad. That's the thing.
And I
Like
want to
he's
add something out of all the years that I've been doing this. It seems like children are always brought into the light right away. There is no waste. It's just how we feel about certain things. Like we don't like to see a child hurt or anything as a parent would. But at the same time, it is just there's a lot there to understand. I'm sorry. I got lost my thoughts. All I know is that Mateo was pulled in. There was ice cream. There was talk. There were these amazing little toys, figurines that he would make, all of this kind of stuff, and a coloring book. So he was good.
he liked Lego too when he was here.
Okay.
He could build a lot of Lego. There's still like a bin with pieces in his room of unfinished Lego.
Oh wow.
But yeah,
That is
but
so-
he's like, it's nice to know like there's a euphoric love that we can't get here. And it's like he is embraced by so many loving beings and his family members, and he's never been alone. And I think that's what his parents worry about most. That is he okay? Is he with somebody? But he is with his grandmother.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Sandy said, "Is he with my mom?" So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's confirmation.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
But it's just doesn't make it any better. At
No.
this, it doesn't make it any better. So sorry for your loss.
story.
Me
But he
as-
was a funny, like I just want to say this kid was super fun. Like he was funny. He was very rambunctious. He never sat still. He was doing stuff all the time. It was like but he was a good boy. Like he was a good boy. He still is,
yeah,
you know.
absolutely. 100%.
Mhm.
It says, thank you, praying for my niece. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oof.
What was I gonna ask? I was gonna ask the audience. What is when you feel something good happen to you, do you make a mark of it? Do you write down the date? Do you say more positive things to yourself? Because the idea over November, December, because it's a tough emotional month on all levels, and it's starting to get ready to do that. And if people are having a hard time thinking of something positive, this is when you need to start talking to someone. This is when you need to start working with someone, because we have to tell people that we're not alone. We have to tell people that it's important to be there. I mean, I have you three, I have my family, I have everyone to really take care of me when I'm down for the count. But I find that a lot of people don't have that opportunity. So reach out to someone. We do want to listen. We might not know what to do, but we'll help you find a way to do it. So reach out to us too. You know, we'll send you the resources. We'll figure it out. We'll light a candle for you, because I can feel some energy in the room, in our chat, that some people are having some difficulty. So I just needed to bring that out right away. I just see a couple of people there. That's all.
I think that's a very Scorpio season feeling, because we actually go back into like it's death and rebirth, and it can be actual death, or it can just be the fact that there's parts of us that need to die and be reborn. So it's there's a lot of
Try and
heavy
remember the
feelings that
good
come with
times over the bad times. But it's a memory. We get it. But let's be more positive throughout the month, because nobody tells us to do that. Very rarely. They just say, put up with it, or, you know, get over it, or whatever the case may be. None of it's right, but just try and talk to someone is all we're saying, because it's very tough.
Leslie says to you, Jim, as a compliment, Jim, you're pretty good to talk to. So there you go. It's right back at you.
Oh, thank you, Leslie. Leslie is, we've life coached and worked together. She's an amazing human being, and she's making the best of what's going on in her life. And she's definitely has a captivating smile. She goes through things, she vents, and then she's ready for the next week. So that's awesome to see people do that, you know? And I'll get to kick her ass tomorrow, so it'll be fun.
But it's because of the dark too. Like when the days get shorter, people are lonely. Like it feels like it's the loneliest time of the year. Because when you used to be able to go and walk around the block when it was or like light till 9 o'clock, those days are over. So it's lonely. It's like inside, and it's yeah, it's nice to know that you can reach out. And maybe sometime on the show, like one show, we should tell people to like and we can do this anytime, but just if you need some healing scent, just ask for it. And after the show, we'll send you like light and love and just whatever you need it to be.
Because after the lights go off on this show, we're talking for a good 20 minutes afterwards, trying to figure things out and some logistics. And we feel bad for some people that we want to reach out to, and we do. So we really care, people. We do.
Yeah.
So, and by the way, just to make light of things, Miranda's red sweater. Sure.
It's in coral. It's not really red.
Hey,
Kind of not.
You're
It's
protecting
not
her.
red.
You're protecting her.
I know, but it's not red.
It was not intentional tonight to wear red. That is for sure.
But I
It was a
didn't
lack
want,
of.
but I didn't want anyone else to bring it up. That's all. So, you know, and I thought it was my responsibility to bring that up. That's all.
Well, I appreciate that. I think that it's so important, especially with world events right now, that you keep your vibration as high as possible, because collectively, when everyone's in that fear, anxiety state, or there's a big heavy influence of it, those who are sensitive really feel it. And I think it's a responsibility for those who are, you know, like to try to step back and keep yourself as vibrationally high as possible for the collective.
Everybody, we have 7 minutes left, and we're trying to stay this on time because we enjoy coming here every week. And next week we have another show. We are going to be doing a lot more as time progresses. We're trying to put some things together on the show. We'll constantly talk about Scorpio until the 22nd, and then we'll move on to Sagittarius. And I like Sagittarius because of the way that they see themselves. They like the finer things in life. They want everyone to be happy, but they want them to be happy first. Sorry, Paula.
Ha ha.
Ha ha ha.
But Scorpios are going to come into a good 2025 on all astrology. It shows. It just shows. It's it comes in for Sagittarius sometime around mid-February. So if it's in Canada, it's Family Day, and that's going to really turn everything around for them. So all the business ventures, that's going to work really, really well. So there. Anybody else have anything to ask us? Anything that you're curious about? I just want to know, we're going to have a Christmas show, and I think I have to figure out who's going to have the ugliest Christmas sweater ever. Oh yeah.
I can play that game.
I've got only one
That's
that
a fun game.
and everyone thinks it's ugly, so we'll just see what happens there. You know? Do you have an ugly sweater, Christmas sweater, Miranda?
You know, I don't, and I should probably get one. I actually like, I've been wanting one. You know, it has to be really ugly, so that you can really land it.
I'm gonna win this because I'm going to the state shopping.
I
I'm
was
gonna
just
win
gonna
this.
say, Linda,
Oh,
maybe you and I
sure.
can just,
Yep.
I'll share the costs on that with you, Linda, and maybe you can get her something really nice, you know?
Maybe we should all get matching ones.
Yeah. Mine has to
Not a
have
bad idea.
light up, you know, it's gonna have to light up.
I would like that. That would
Yeah.
be fun.
Yeah. And sing continuous Christmas songs. Yeah.
I was gonna say, if you, because we're leaning into retrograde too, just as a couple like reminders, because shadow starts on the 7th, the more you can get done that, you know, contractually or communication wise before the 7th, which is like what, on Thursday, is best. And then as we go into shadow, it starts changing, and it's always the movements of retrograde when it shifts. So you'll start to notice the certain communication mishaps when things start to shift, like it's going backwards or it appears to go backwards. So the 25th is when it begins. So I would just be cognizant and plan your month out accordingly. So like, you don't want to start something, ideally you don't start something new during retrograde. If you can help it. So if you can kind of tie up loose ends beforehand, I think it's probably the best thing to do.
So Tiffany, we will certainly send that out there. What is your son's birth date and what is yours? What else have we got here? And Sandy praying for the niece. We will do our best, as we always do, because we're empathic and we care. We care about each other all the time. I really wish that some people can just see how we interact with each other. We're there in a phone call if we need each other, and people should be doing that every day. So
You need your team.
we do make a good team, and this is what
Everybody needs a team.
and we got one. And
Yeah.
you know, it's just a continuation of always being there for one another, no matter how dark it gets. You know, we've got each other. So there's like 4 of us now, and it can continue that way. And I'm just letting people know that keep it up, because it's important, especially during the balance of Scorpio season. So have some fun with it. Paula, we want to thank you again for showing up and making us look good.
Thanks. It's always fun.
It is.
Is it?
It's fun, and I get to learn while I sit here and listen.
Yeah, there we go.
Tiffany says 6/16/1994 for her son Cody, Jim.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay.
8/28/1972.
72. I was in grade something.
I was 2.
You were 2?
Yeah.
I was
Miranda wasn't even born.
I was 12.
I'm an 81.
And I was going to track with my grandfather, which I loved. That's what I was doing in 72. So I want to say thank you again to everyone. Linda, thank you for your insight. Miranda, as always, thank you for your insight. Paula, thank you very much for everything. We sign off. We're going to be on again 8:30 on Tuesday. And I don't know, one night you're not making it, right, Linda?
Yep.
We already know.
That's November 19th.
November 19th, the big day. So
It's a big day.
So we'll just, Miranda and I might do some interesting things, and we might have a special guest on. We'll just see what we can
Yeah,
get.
actually, we do have some special guests coming down the pipeline. So that's
Stay tuned. If anybody wants someone on, email Jim Hunt Official, or no, what's it called? Vots?
Avots
Hey,
at Gmail. HEYVOTS@gmail.com.
Thank you.
Welcome.
And if you have someone that you know that you think should be on the show, we'll gladly put them on here, you know?
Okay.
And I can always take a seat back and just watch everybody, you know? We wish all of you a
like
great...
to recline right back, Agent. Recline right back.
I'm just like, oh my God, I'm just like, I gotta go. Thank you, everyone. We love you. We'll see you in another week from now. I'm still enjoying this as much as possible, and hopefully we can all get together and have a good time. And I think it's time to say sayonara, and I still haven't gotten our music fixed yet.
Okay. We'll get on it this week, right? All together.
Yes, we will. Miranda, thank you.
I could
Thanks,
hum us
Paula.
out if you want.
Thanks, Paula.
You're
What are you
welcome.
gonna-
Do
What
you
are you
want
gonna?
me? I could hum us out if you
Oh, you
want.
could. You could.
Mm,
Can you sing like Mariah Carey or something like in Wish Us Christmas?
all I want for Christmas.
Never mind.
No.
Never mind. Done. Done.
Okay, Linda and I are gonna know how to turn. We're gonna go now, and then Jim, you're gonna keep your video on like you always do.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
no,
have
no.
to.
I think I've got it fixed this time that I can shut this off.
Do?
I
Okay.
do.
See you. Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Good night, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, shit. There's 1, 2, 3. Okay, hang on. I got it. Where am I? I'm over here. Nope. Hang on. Good night, everybody. I really take it easy.